This is a tutorial for the Game Master submission form for the 2025 Illusion HorrorCon Untethered Realities. As I review the form, I will also address some frequently asked questions we've received in previous years about being a GM for the con. If you're new around here, the Illusion HorrorCon is a yearly, completely free online convention with 3 days filled with horror tabletop role-playing games and informative panels exploring many different aspects of horror in TTRPGs. The GM submission form can be found on our website, theillusionhorrorcon.events, linked in the description of this video. Then click on the Convention Forms tab up above. In the Convention Forms tab, you will find a link to the GM submission form. Just click on the icon or the words to open a new form. Here, you can also find a link to the GM lookup table, which is a read-only shared spreadsheet of the games submitted already to the con. The spreadsheet is automatically populated when the form is completed, so you will also see your game appear as soon as you submit the form. Let's get into the GM submission form. Click the link and follow along with me. Starting at the top of the form, you can find links to the convention's Code of Conduct, which you automatically agree to follow when you participate in the convention. There's also a link to the Illusion Horror and Con Discord server, which you must also join to participate in the online convention. This year's con will be the weekend of December 5th through 7th, and GM submission will start on October 10th and conclude on November 2nd. You will need to submit a new form for each game you want to run at the convention. And please know that whether you're a returning GM to the con or you are completely new, we welcome any GM of any experience level to run their favorite horror games at our convention. Email. You must provide a valid email address. However, the only communication you will receive through this email is an auto-response when you complete this form. Please make sure you received this email for each game you submitted and keep it handy. There's a link to edit your games in case you need to make changes during the GM submission period in these emails. Please confirm that you have joined the Illusion Horror and Con Discord server, allocated yourself the GM role on the Discord server, and read and understand the Code of Conduct. You must join the Illusion Horror and Con Discord server to participate in the online convention. And the link to do so is provided here. Instructions for assigning yourself the GM role are provided on the server when you join. The convention is played exclusively on the Discord server, and all communication leading to the con will be conducted through the Discord server. This includes notifications, updates, and GMs communicating with their players for the convention. If you prefer to keep notifications on your Discord server muted, please ensure you check the server regularly or take note of important dates leading up to the convention. For example, the week of December 1st, which is the week leading up to the con, will be especially important for GMs to be tuned into the Discord server to coordinate with players for their games. Preferred name to be displayed in the Player's Guide Handbook. This is the name you would like to have in the player handbook that will be generated by the con organizers when GM submissions are over. Player Handbook will be an online directory of all the games submitted by the GMs, featuring all the necessary information for players to decide which games they would like to sign up for, with the chance to play at the con. Your Discord handle. It is very important that you copy your Discord handle correctly. Again, all communication for the convention will be conducted in the Illusion Horror and Con Discord server. Make sure you write your Discord handle and not your display name for the individual server. In the example shown on the form, IRPGoob would be the Discord handle for this user and the correct name to input here. Please verify you are over 18 years old. Be aware that the con and the server are not appropriate for users under the age of 18. The moderation team discovers a user is a minor, they will be banned from the server and the con. What time slot will you offer your game? There are a total of 10 gaming slots over the convention weekend, each individually named for specificity. Death is only the beginning, which is the slot that happens before the keynote. Slot 1, Limbo. Slot 2, Lust. Slot 3, Gluttony. Slot 4, Greed. Slot 5, Anger. Slot 6, Heresy. Slot 7, Violence. Slot 8, Fraud. Slot 9, Treachery. Each gaming slot is 4 hours long, with 2 hours in between gaming slots for breaks and panel discussions. There is a 10-minute buffer before and after each panel. Now, we know from experience that the enemies of international online gaming conventions are time zones and daylight savings. That's why we have provided you with links to the Dateful website for each gaming slot that will convert the time of the gaming slot to your time zone. These links will open in a new window and display the time and date of the slot in your time zone. This date and time also accounts for daylight savings time changes for that time zone. There are even options to add the slot to your calendar if you would like, and to change the time zone displayed in case you are using a VPN or you are currently in a different time zone than the one that you will be playing in at the convention. These Dateful links are also provided on the convention website linked in the description. Now, returning to the form. The selections also list the UTC and EST times for the slot, which you can use to look up that time in your time zone if you prefer not to use the Dateful links. We have also listed the complete schedule in the 2025 Convention Schedule channel on the Discord server using Hammer Time, so all dates and times will appear in your time zone and account for daylight savings. We ask that you please do not ask the con organizers or the moderation team to convert times and dates for you into your time zone. You will just be provided a link to one of the resources that I've mentioned already. All games must start and end within the allotted gaming time. But if you would like to start your game later in the slot, or if you would like to offer a longer game in multiple slots, please mention that in the special notes question discussed at the end of this form. Title of your offered scenario. Please provide the title of the scenario you are offering. Feel free to run a published scenario, a homebrew scenario, a playtest, or even an improv session. What is the maximum number of players that can join this session? This is simply please choose the maximum number of players for your game. What are the content warnings for this game? Please list the major content warnings for your game so people can make an informed decision about which games they would like to participate in. If you do not believe your game requires content warnings, we still encourage you to include the horror content, any horror content, such as mythos creatures or paranormal. The form provides a list of common content warnings in case you need examples. What type of TTRPG safety tools are you implementing? The use of safety tools in some capacity is required for the Illusion HorrorCon. The following are the typical ones used on the server, but feel free to write in something else you may use. Be aware, every game at the Illusion HorrorCon will observe an open table policy and an X-card policy. Open table policy simply means any participant may leave the table at any time for any reason, without needing to provide an explanation. And X-card policy means any participant may pause or stop the game at any time if the content exceeds their personal comfort level. The table may then rewind or redirect the scene, and this is no questions asked for either open table policy or X-card policy. Please indicate any additional safety tools that you will use for your game. For example, a pre-game discussion is a written or verbal conversation held before the game starts to ensure everyone is on the same page and has similar expectations for the content. There's also lines and veils, which are ways for players and GMs to explicitly list topics to avoid in the game. Lines are topics that are completely off limits and cannot be mentioned. Veils are topics that can be mentioned but not described in detail. This would typically be described as moments where you would fade to black. Green, yellow, red safety cards are used to indicate how people are feeling about the content in the scenario in real time. So a green card would indicate a positive response to the current actions taking place. A yellow card would be to indicate the content is veering towards possibly uncomfortable territory. And a red card would be considered the same as an X card, or completely stop play because you've exceeded the comfort level of a particular player, or perhaps also the GM. Remember, GMs, you can also use safety tools. They are also for your comfort as well. And of course, other safety tools not listed here are always welcome. What level of experience are players required to bring to the table? Now, we aim to keep the convention as inclusive as possible and hope to expose players to a variety of different horror gaming systems. The new Players Welcome option assumes that some or all players will have no prior knowledge of the game system. Now, alternatively, if you have a game in mind that requires some experience to play, please be sure to accurately represent the experience level here. What game system is the scenario based on? Select the game system that you are using for the scenario, or write one in using the other option if it is not listed here. You are also welcome to run any RPG system that you like, even a homebrew system. Player character preparation. Please note the type of preparation that is expected from your players. You will have the opportunity to discuss player preparation before the con as well, but this is to help set expectations for the players as they choose games to sign up for. Scenario description. You can enter a description for your scenario here. In our experience, it is best practice to keep it as short and simple as possible so people will actually read it. There's really no need to write out a novel. A few sentences of the main hook will do the trick. The next question is to link your virtual tabletop or VTT here if you are using one. Any virtual tabletop will be fine, Roll20, Foundry, or something else. Image to be included in the player's guide. If you have a link to an online image that you would like to include in the player's handbook, please copy the link here. Be sure to read the disclaimers about copyrighted images. Please note that the Illusion HorrorCon is not responsible or liable for any copyright or licensing issues related to submitted images. Unfortunately, we can no longer use images linked from Discord. Due to an update to Discord systems, image links will expire shortly after they are created, so the link will no longer be usable by the time the player's handbook is generated. We apologize for the inconvenience. Any special notes for your game that are not covered in the questions above? If you need to tell us something not covered in the sections above, please do so here. For example, if you were to start your game later than the starting time of the slot, or if you want to run a game over multiple slots. So, you finished the form. Now what? Again, check your email to make sure you received confirmation that your form was sent. Make sure to save each auto-generated email in case you need to edit any of your submissions. You can edit them until GM submissions close. Player signups will begin on November 9th. GMs will not have access to view players signing up for their games during this time. Players will be selected by a random lottery, and the results will be posted on November 30th. Each GM will be assigned a thread in the Discord server where we will post all the necessary information for your games, such as which voice chat to use. This will also be a dedicated space for you to communicate and coordinate with your players. If you need any further assistance with GM submissions, our moderators on the Illusion Horror and Con Discord server are happy to help. Please create a support ticket in the Discord server, which will ping the moderation team and put you in direct contact with someone to help. We will provide written announcements and more informational videos as we approach the con. Please check out our website, theillusionhorrorcon.events, for more information, plus links to previous year's panel discussions, recorded actual plays, and interviews with authors from some of your favorite RPG systems. We would like to thank you for your interest and participation in the Illusion HorrorCon 2025 Untethered Realities. This con could not happen without the amazing GMs offering their time and energy to run games. We really hope you will join us.